Welcome back.
Yo, Carpe Diem. Here we are.
Carpe Diem. We're seizing the day today.
Ooh, nice.
Welcome back, season
For a
2.
couple guys with only a note apiece, they harmonize really well.
Yeah, right. I think that's what some of our listeners have told us. That's sometimes they can't tell which
It's good harmony.
one's talking, and I think that's because
They're confused about intelligible
we
thought.
have the
because
same
it's
tone.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah, and it's only one.
Oh, right.
Season 2. Welcome back to season 2. Hit that subscribe button.
Mash
and
it.
Subscribe it.
That's what the kids say.
Mash it. Is that what?
I
is
don't
that
know.
the thing
Mash
now?
that subscribe button.
No cap.
Hit it hard.
No cap.
No cap.
I used no cap in a
You
sentence.
did?
Like natural with my oldest around, and she just rolled her eyes.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get my youngest to tell me that our podcast is bussin', but
Bussin'. All right. It's, for those that don't know, no cap means not lying, or like I'm not lying. Cap means I'm lying, or you're lying.
So is it really just a replacement for fiction?
I don't.
You know how
dude, I don't know.
fiction's confusing?
I don't know, man.
You know the word fiction.
I don't even know how you get cap to begin with. I would think that would be like a hat.
I always got
No cap. I'm no cap right now.
Yeah, well, I brought a cap. I always got confused with fiction, right? Because
Fiction and nonfiction.
yeah, because like
Why don't they call it something other than nonfiction? Why don't they just call it believable story or real stories?
yeah.
Yeah.
And why did made up get to be the default, and then factual gets to have the non in front of it?
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
Blows my mind.
My little third grader me was like, this doesn't make sense, and it's always stayed that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so we're talking about soul foods in this series. We're talking about things, habits that nourish your soul and regenerate it.
You've had some food. You've had some recent food adventures, haven't you, Keith?
I've had lots of food adventures.
So I saw some great pictures.
Yeah, some stuff I didn't get to eat since
Oh.
I gave up meat for Lent. I did. So I'm doing well giving up meat for Lent, except for Sundays. So we saved a little bit of it, and then I tried it Sunday, and it was really good. It was really good. It was a smoked chuck roast, arm roast. I forget which one it was.
And I sent you those pictures of those spring rolls that were chewy at best.
Yeah,
But
they looked good.
they had a really nice. My wife made a really nice peanut sauce. That was the.
I like a good peanut sauce.
I should have just ate the peanut sauce. was good.
Just downed it.
It was good. So
Put a straw on it,
No, it was
like
too
one of those
thick- too
big
thick.
boba
No,
tea straws.
Too thick for that.
Anyway, so today we're talking about solitude, and not to be confused with solitaire, which is a game.
Not to be confused with isolation.
Yep. That's really the big thing. Is solitude is purposely. I'm defining
Okay.
solitude as purposely taking time away from being around the hustle and bustle and noise, and focusing in on your relationship with God.
Yeah, and I think too, we're taking it that step further to that relationship with God, but the solitude part is being separated from like other human beings, right? Like some of those.
Yeah,
if
you can, right?
Other inputs.
Yeah, sometimes that's hard. If you're if you've got like 12 kids at home or something, sometimes getting away is difficult, but so even if you can, turn the iPad on or the TV on for them and go outside for 10 minutes or 15 minutes,
What's your solitude, Keith? What do you have?
I like two things. I like going down to my office in my basement, and it used to be before anyone got up, but now with the middle schooler getting up at 6 o'clock, like the house is a lot. I don't have enough time to really do what I want to do. So in the summertime, I like the back deck. At night, kids are in bed. and I don't mind. So we did this kind of the other night. It would have been great if the kids weren't there. But we were in the back deck, had the fire pit going. You know, just I had some music on, and even though the music was on, I was still like in my thoughts, right? You know, and Sean and I were just sitting there. We weren't really even talking through most of it. We were just kind of listening to the music and enjoying the night. And I think that's a great setting to if you need something like that to help kind of it not be quiet, sometimes that works out well. So I have been doing lately, when I pick my 4-year-old up from preschool, I've got like a 2-hour window between when I pick him up and I got to go pick up the middle schooler. So I have been getting him lunch and letting him watch the iPad or whatever, and then going downstairs and kind of focusing in. So you just got to find time when you can. How about you?
I like early morning. I give myself an extra 15 minutes in the morning before the house wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. I too like outdoors. Now that the weather's getting nicer, I will take that 15 minutes outside.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Cup of coffee.
Yeah, like something nice about the systematic way that like nature wakes itself up every morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
The all the daytime birds and bugs and like this as the sounds change.
Yeah.
As the sun comes up.
Yeah.
Nice reset space.
Yeah. Yeah.
I read. And usually try to be either scriptural reading stuff or faith development literature that I'm working on, articles or books we're reading as a congregation, or devotional stuff, or
I usually spend my time. I always start with a prayer of thanks, and I just like find all the things from the past day or what's happening right now to just be thankful for, and then I tend to always have something I'm thinking about, and so then I spend some time in that kind of prayer, thinking about it and trying to let my brain work through it, hopefully through God's influence, to kind of find some answers for, whatever what I consider to be a big brain topic, but what most people would just be like, oh, no, that's not really, Anyway, so that's what I kind of do. Pull out my phone and my Bible app, read through some stuff.
So, what's your top challenge? What's the biggest challenge to setting apart time for solitude?
Yeah, I think the time frame. You get pulled in so many directions in life, and you only have so much time to do stuff, right? And so there's only so many hours in the day. You got to sleep for some of them, right? So like, you've got to cut something out to then have time to do something, right?
And it's hard when the something is actually designed as not something. Right? Like stillness,
like
silence,
yeah,
solitude.
Like I could be doing so much other
prayer,
things with this 15, 30 minutes or whatever time you want to do it. Yeah.
When you're trying to intentionally not be doing it.
Yeah.
It's counterintuitive.
It is. And I think that's probably the worst thing about it. Or when you finally get that time and you think the family's straight, and then a kid comes downstairs or whatever, and it was like, we're out of bread, Penny, this morning. We're out of bread. We need bread. Okay, I don't care right now. You didn't need to stop making your breakfast to come down and tell me we're out of bread, to then go back, finish making your breakfast and eat it. Like, make your breakfast, eat it. As you're leaving, you have to pass my office, right? Like, to get in the car to go to school, then you can tell me, bye, love you. Hey, by the way, we're out of bread.
Yeah, you're expecting a lot out of.
Gee, she's 12.
Yeah, it's a very important thing at the moment.
Out of bread.
Well,
go downstairs and tell you.
I mean, what? Anyway. Could have just wadded up the wrapper, threw it in the trash, and never said anything to anybody, and then.
Yeah, but I don't eat bread, so I don't. Unless somebody tells me, I don't buy it. Anyway.
So see, did exactly what was necessary.
Yeah, she did.
I'm defending her on this one.
You should defend her. At least somebody is defending. No, I think that's the hard. I think that's the hardest thing is like not finding the time to do it, and then not allowing a distraction to distract you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that could be anything. That distraction could be what you have to do for the day.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's what I think a lot of people have trouble doing it in the beginning of the day or at the end of the day. Because at the beginning of the day, you're thinking about all the stuff you got to do, right? Got to get going to work. At the end of the day, you're thinking about all the junk that happened to you, right? You know? So there's no right time to do it. There's always going to be distractions. You have to find your way through that.
And I think my personal challenge, I think what I want to try is stop trying to squeeze in another thing to do when I have that time. As I can read a chapter in this book. I can check the box on that devotional. I can read the devotional for the day in the Bible app. I can, right? Like, all good things, but probably what I need to do more of, and I don't do any of it in that time, is just listen. And that's the stillness. That's I think that's probably one of the more valuable untapped resources of solitude and stillness is listening.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Well, we need to do more of it.
I know. I think that's my biggest fault.
Because guess what? You can't hear. Something you're not listening for.
Yeah. I think that's one of the hardest things, just in general, is to just, for me, right? Like, Shauna can listen all day long, but for me, it's like, my brain has to be working on something, it's got to be thinking.
I know, that's why I made it a challenge.
I know, it's a challenge. It's too challenging.
It wasn't a challenge.
Maybe I should set a timer.
I thought you told me nothing worth doing is easy.
That's correct. And I have a lot of challenges I'm taking on in my life right now. Maybe once I get past Lent, we can talk.
Well, I want to call some people.
Yeah,
let's take some callers and find out what great solitude advice we can gain from others.
Sounds good.
All right, let's do it. All right, we're going to see if Josh answers. He often, he said, can you just text me before you call? I did.
Oh, okay.
15 minutes ago.
He's a really busy guy, though.
He's a very busy guy. I just thought sometimes busy guys have time for their friends.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
No, let's
when
leave.
You have finished recording, you may hang up.
Just make sure he has a good day.
All right. Well, we hope you have a good day, buddy. I did send you that text message. You didn't respond, which means I probably shouldn't have called you. But we did.
It's okay. We love you, man.
Yeah, we love you. Have a good day. Hope you find some solitude. If you were...
Maybe you were trying to be solitude right now.
Maybe you were. But that's fine. Hopefully your phone was on Do Not Disturb and you don't even know we called.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
See, it's okay to leave a voicemail.
It is.
He'll never check it.
So
delete.
So Grant, my 12-year-old, had a missed call from a friend of his. So he's like, "Oh, I need to call him back." So he calls back. Well, the friend doesn't answer, right?
Okay.
They don't do a lot of talking on the phone.
Okay.
But anyway, friend doesn't answer, and it goes goes to the voicemail. Well, this 12-year-old, 13-year-old friend has set up their voicemail inbox, and it's funny,
All right? Yeah.
And Grant's like, listen to this. This is hilarious. And then it stops and it beeps. I was like, you going to leave a voicemail? He goes, a what? He had no idea what.
He had no idea what it was.
He thought it was a funny recording at the end. Like, you let it ring long enough, you get to tell jokes.
Shauna got a missed call yesterday from a jail.
Oh, did she take it?
Yeah, but it wasn't her regular phone. It was her work phone. So she was like, I'm like, who the
Well,
heck?
it's collect.
Yeah.
So,
but she didn't get it in time or something. Maybe it was the voicemail she got or whatever, and it's the recording or whatever. But she didn't get it in time to find out who it was.
I do feel bad for that because we do end up in this. We're in this world where we screen every call. Like we don't. If the number's not in our phone, if we don't, and then so you have to answer.
Yeah.
Whenever someone's calling you from jail or prison, you have to answer it.
Yeah.
You can't call back.
Right.
Right.
You don't know who it is.
Yeah. You have to accept the call and then accept the charge.
Yeah.
So.
Well, anyways, she didn't get to her phone in time because it was a work phone, and it's this phone's ringing. We're in small group, and this phone's ringing, and we're all like looking at each other. I'm like, I don't think it's any of our phones, and I was like, oh, I think it's my work phone. It's like Sunday night. Like, who's calling me? Something bad's happened, right? Sure enough, it was something bad happened to somebody. She's like, I don't know if anybody even knows my work phone number. To be honest,
well,
so it's probably a wrong call.
Probably an accidental call.
Yeah, but anyway, I thought that was humorous. I'm trying to remember. There was one time that I did get a phone. Oh, I remember. I did have a buddy that called me from jail to come bail him out, and he was too afraid to call his wife. I was in my early 20s when it happened, and got the phone call. It's like, yeah, I'll accept the charges. Who knows my number? It's like, bro, I'm giving, and I forget it was something stupid, like stupid mind. Like it wasn't anything big, but they like, what was it? I can't remember. It was like driving. I know it wasn't even driving too fast. I don't know, whatever. He got dumb and argued with a cop. Like, can't do that.
No.
Can't do that. They'll send you to jail.
Yeah, and then you have to know somebody's phone number.
And then you have to know somebody's phone number.
Well, something you need to memorize.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Hey, you want to do another call?
Yeah. Let's call Grammy.
Ooh, let's do it.
Hello.
Morning, Grammy.
You're right on time.
Hey, we are.
What?
Well, we're here. Keith's here too.
Keith is
here.
there?
I'm here.
Good.
Hey, we're talking today, all the kind folks, listeners out here. We're talking about navigating. So in our daily lives, how do we navigate the fast-paced nature of the world around us? And we're talking about the challenges we face in finding moments of stillness and solitude. I thought you could have a good perspective on this, given that you live alone, where Keith and I live in chaos.
Utter chaos.
And I have the mute button too. where I don't know that you do.
What's that?
I mean, on my remote.
Oh, you just you can mute you can
mute the TV.
Yeah.
Mute all inputs. You can actually remove all inputs.
Right. And I think that's what I like about these books on the tape. There's no commercials, and then in one way they read me to sleep too.
Do you have a hard time finding your spot again when he falls? Because it just keeps going, right?
Yes, it keeps going. But this player that I have has a backup button on it, and so I back it up until I catch something that I do remember. But, yep. Anyway.
So in living alone, do you have... so in like looking for solitude, time to spend spend intentionally listening for God or in conversation with God outside of like normal routine. Do you work that into your normal routine, or do you have to seek that out? Do you set time apart for?
Yep, I set time apart. First thing of a morning, I think. Well, I, fix breakfast and all of that, but I think now before I do anything, I'm going to do that upper room of meditation because that's going to start my day off in the right way, the right thinking. But
do you do it in the same spot, same place of the house every time, or?
Oh yes, I have to be at that reading machine,
yep.
Where they're enlarging my print, and it's in my bedroom right now. So, yep, that's where my quiet spot is. Another thing I do when I had that surgery, the church gave me a prayer shawl, and they tied knots. I'm sure your church does too. So when I have that across my lap, and the times that it's laundered, the bows come untied. So then I go through my list, my family, and offer prayers in silent time. Usually it's when I've turned the TV down, and maybe that's not the best. But anyway, when we have a prayer list on our bulletin at church, and I try to go through those names and think about each one of them when I redo my prayer knots.
See, you've got all the good answers.
I don't know. I was thinking.
Well, think back to a time where you didn't have solitude at your disposal. What sort of adjustments or opportunities did you seek out whenever you were teaching and had classrooms full of kids and small kids of your own and all the demands of life going? Were you able to, how long has these rituals of solitude been part of your routine?
Well, thinking back, probably when I would drive to school or when I was principal, it was hard to go in the office and take time. But I could always get away. I don't know, Mitchell. My mind just shuts down, I guess, and take time.
How long you been doing the upper rooms?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you feel like it's been easier over time that you've built it into your routine? Is it a lot easier now to to do it?
Yes.
And what was like a stumbling block to early on when you're doing the upper rooms and stuff? What was like, the thing that you had to change maybe to make it easier for you?
Had to change the time that I spent. Had to learn to turn off if the telephone rang. Let the answer machine pick it up if I was in my meditation. Turning off, the sounds. That's always a challenge. But I find my mind wanders even listening to my book or to the sermon. Then my mind will start thinking something that has been mentioned. A barrier to it is hard to shut out the noise, what I call.
All right. Well, do you have any advice to listeners on, or any words of encouragement on the importance of finding that solitary place? And then I want you to tell us a joke.
Well, I just know that Jesus would go off by himself and find a quiet spot and then reprimand the disciples for falling asleep, and but take the time.
All right. Well, do you have something that can make me laugh?
Well, this is another joke with a Bible person. Who would be the great financier? A great financier in the Bible.
Come on, this is going to be good. This is going to be so obvious.
I don't know. I can't.
I mean, Pharaoh was loaded.
Yeah.
Babylon, they're pretty stacked. All right.
We don't know.
It was Pharaoh's daughter.
I was close.
She went to the bank and came back with a profit. You get it?
Good one.
All right. The second part, the coming back with the profit was solid.
Yeah.
That was well played. That was good. That was good delivery.
When you said Pharaoh, I thought, he's on to it. Wasn't a tax collector. Wasn't any of the tax collectors.
That's kind of where my mind was. I was like, man, it's the tax collectors.
Levi.
You know.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, we'll call you next time.
Does everybody have the same 24 hours in the day?
Sometimes I have less.
I don't know. Is this another joke?
No. But like when you said live alone, when I was at the doctor's office, the pharmacist was telling someone now she's 92 and she lives alone.
Think about Saturday. You're only going to have 23 hours in that day.
Oh, I just I was thinking about that last night when it was 7 o'clock, and I thought, it'll be 8 o'clock next week.
That whole hour just disappears from your life.
I think if I was 92, I'd just refuse. I'll leave my clock whatever I want.
I do leave one clock.
Show up to appointments early.
I'd make the rest of the world adapt to me. That's what I'd do.
And remember, Mitchell, I'm still working on my patience.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry. You should work on your patience with that extra day. Well, hey.
Yes. Yep.
Keith's. I'm still reading my book, so I'm doing my part, and Keith's still on his meatless endeavor.
Yep.
So he's doing good too.
Yep.
Doing well.
Good.
Sorry about that. Sorry, Grammy.
Yeah.
All right, we'll call you later.
Bye,
all right.
All right, love you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Well, hey, I don't know how much more solitude I can handle.
This was not, it's not a very uplifting conversation to have to be like, go to your room, sit there, don't think about anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like you're getting punished, but it's not punishment. So yeah, it's definitely not my, like, of all the soul food, the spiritual habits we've talked about is not my favorite.
Oh, and I like some solitude. I just don't know how much more we ought to say about it other than seek it out and the importance of seeking it out.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I think that what we've heard from each other and from with like Grammy is you have to devoid yourself of distractions. So for me, solitude isn't listening to our podcast.
Yeah, correct.
Solitude isn't listening to the sermon again.
If Keith and I are in your head, that is not
that's
solitude.
Not solitude. So it has to be intentionally quiet time with no distractions. So think about that. Don't do it driving. That seems like a terrible idea.
But I know folks that especially like long distance runners.
Yeah, I think you're okay doing that. I just mean driving and trying to get lost in thoughts. And
the only sound is your foot hitting the pavement for hours.
Yeah, that's fine. Go for a walk and be solitude. Yeah, that's fine. I just think driving, you should probably focus on the road.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So, anyway, that's it. That's all we got. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. We'll
next time.
I'm looking forward to the next one. We're talking about prayer.
Prayer. All right. Later.
It's like active solitude.
Active solitude.
It's the talking part of prayer, not the listening part.
I think I can do prayer better than solitude.
I think so too. All right, bye guys.